The art of attraction is not about chasing or begging. It's about commanding respect, evoking desire, and mastering the psychology that governs the way we interact. It all starts with how you present yourself to the world and the subtle signals you send before you even say a word. In this video, we're going to explore the 6 psychological shifts that instantly increase a woman's attraction to you, without ever having to beg for her attention, chase her down, or impress her with flashy tactics. These are not about clever lines or tricks. They are deep psychological shifts in the way you think, speak, move, and lead. First, we need to understand that attraction is not just about the words you say. In fact, it's not even about your appearance alone. It's about the way you make her feel, and that starts before the first word is spoken. How you stand, the energy you project, the unspoken confidence in your posture. All of these things signal to her whether you are a man worth investing in. In this first part, we focus on the nonverbal cues, how to use your body language to command attention and create an aura of mystery and desire. A key element in this is dominance without aggression. You need to be assertive without being domineering. It's the fine balance of strength and calmness that attracts a woman's attention without her feeling overwhelmed. You are the leader of the interaction. Without saying a word, she will already know it. The first impression you give her will determine whether she's interested in you or not. This impression is formed through how you carry yourself, how you move, and how your energy interacts with hers. The trick is to project confidence, but also to be subtly elusive, creating just enough mystery to make her want to know more. Think about it. When was the last time you met someone who, without saying much, simply exuded a magnetic energy that drew you in? That is the kind of energy you need to cultivate. By mastering these psychological shifts, you won't need to chase or beg for attention. Instead, you'll have her chasing you. You'll have created an irresistible presence that draws her in and keeps her interested, long before you've even uttered a word. The Subtle Art of Emotional Control, English version. To truly command a woman's desire, you must learn to control your emotions and, in turn, make her emotions work in your favor. Emotional control is one of the most powerful psychological shifts you can make, and it's the secret to turning attraction into automatic, unstoppable chemistry. The second rule in mastering attraction is about remaining calm and collected no matter the situation. Whether you're faced with a challenging conversation, a woman who seems distant, or an unexpected obstacle, your ability to control your emotions will set you apart from the rest of the men vying for her attention. When you can maintain your composure, you create a sense of security and stability, qualities that women find incredibly attractive. No one wants a man who is emotionally unstable or reactive. Women are drawn to men who can stay grounded and keep their cool, regardless of external pressures. This not only makes you appear more desirable, but it also makes her feel more secure in your presence. Think about it. When a woman sees a man who is emotionally stable, someone who doesn't get rattled by the small things, she naturally feels that he is in control of himself. This sense of self-control is magnetic, and it automatically creates a dynamic of leadership and dominance that she instinctively finds alluring. The key to emotional control isn't just about suppressing your feelings. It's about redirecting your emotional energy and using it to your advantage. For example, when a woman tests you or challenges you, instead of reacting defensively or anxiously, you respond with calm assurance and nonchalance. This response not only shows that you're unshaken by her behavior, but it also positions you as a man who is in control and unaffected by external influences. In this part, we'll explore how emotional stability directly influences sexual attraction. Women are drawn to men who are confident, yet emotionally balanced, because it gives them the space to feel vulnerable while still trusting in the man's strength. Emotional control helps you create sexual tension without saying a word, simply through your presence and demeanor. When you can make her feel safe, yet also feel that she is being subtly challenged, attraction becomes automatic. You don't have to chase or beg for her attention. Instead, she'll be drawn to you because of the way you make her feel, a powerful combination of safety and excitement. Mastering this level of emotional control is essential if you want to become the man women find irresistible. It's not about impressing her with words or gestures. It's about making her feel something that no other man can. By learning to control your emotions, you can start to control the emotional experience that she has with you. A feeling that will make her crave your presence and desire to be near you. The magnetic power of confidence and nonchalance. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. It's the cornerstone of attraction, the magnetic force that draws people to you. But true confidence is not about arrogance or boasting. It's about having faith in yourself and projecting that faith in every aspect of your life. The third step in mastering attraction is about learning how to project unshakable confidence while maintaining nonchalance. Confidence and nonchalance work together to create an aura of power and mystery that women find irresistible. It's the delicate balance of strength without force, assertion without aggression, and coolness without indifference. Confidence starts from within. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. The first thing you need to do is retrain your mind to believe in your own worth. This means letting go of self-doubt, shedding the insecurities that hold you back, and adopting a mindset of self-assurance. When you genuinely believe that you are worthy of love, respect, and admiration, it shows, not only in the way you carry yourself, but in the way you interact with others. Nonchalance is equally important. This doesn't mean being disinterested or detached, but rather maintaining a sense of calm and emotional independence. When you are nonchalant, you demonstrate that you are not desperate for approval or attention. You are content with who you are and comfortable in your own skin. This level of emotional freedom is incredibly attractive because it signals that you don't need anyone to validate you. You are already complete. The way you move, speak, and react is crucial to projecting both confidence and nonchalance. When you enter a room, do you walk with your head high, shoulders back, and a relaxed but purposeful pace? This is the first sign of confidence. But what really makes you magnetic is the way you maintain a relaxed demeanor in high-pressure situations. Women are drawn to men who are calm under pressure, who can handle stress with a smile and a sense of ease. This emotional control is the cornerstone of real confidence and a powerful presence. Nonchalance also plays a crucial role in creating sexual tension. When you're emotionally available but not overly eager, when you're engaged but not overly invested, you create an irresistible pull. It's the feeling of being wanted but not being desperate. This balance drives women wild because it shows that you're the type of man who has choices, who isn't relying on her approval for your happiness. Remember, true confidence comes from within, and it must be consistent across all areas of your life. If you lack confidence in one area, it will bleed into other areas, and it will become evident to others. Confidence is not something you fake. It's something you build and embody every day. Women are naturally attracted to men who exude confidence and nonchalance because it creates an emotional safety net. She knows that being with you means she doesn't have to worry about emotional drama, uncertainty, or instability. She can relax, feel safe, and enjoy her time with you because you're steady, secure, and comfortable with yourself. When you can combine these two qualities, confidence and nonchalance, you'll find that attraction becomes easy and automatic. You don't have to chase women or beg for their attention. Instead, your inner strength and emotional independence will create an energy that pulls her towards you, making her desire you even more. Creating sexual tension and building desire. Attraction is not just about creating an initial spark. It's about building and sustaining that spark in a way that makes it impossible for her to resist. One of the most powerful tools in the psychology of attraction is the ability to create sexual tension. Sexual tension is the unspoken energy between two people that keeps them on edge, constantly wondering what might happen next. To create sexual tension, the first step is to understand that it's about gradual escalation, not rushing or forcing the connection. Sexual tension builds when there is mystery, anticipation, and the feeling that there is something more to explore. This is where your confidence and nonchalance come into play. By being emotionally unattached, you create a sense of mystery that makes her wonder what you're really thinking or feeling. One of the most effective ways to create sexual tension is through physical proximity. The closer you are to her, the more you can subtly affect her energy and emotions without having to say a word. But there's a catch. You have to be in control of the space you occupy. You cannot crowd her or force physical contact. Instead, you need to move with a sense of purpose and confidence. Start by getting closer to her gradually. At first, it may be a subtle touch on her arm, or standing just a little bit closer than usual when you're having a conversation. This proximity should feel natural, not forced. The key here is to give her space to feel comfortable, while also allowing for a sense of closeness that creates emotional and physical tension. Eye contact is another powerful tool in building sexual tension. The way you look at her, steady, confident, but not overly intense, can communicate more than words ever will. Lingering eye contact creates a sense of connection and intimacy, making her feel like you're seeing her for who she really is. This builds trust and draws her in even further. But creating sexual tension doesn't just involve physical proximity. It's also about emotional distance. The more you create a sense of emotional independence, the more attractive you become. When you are emotionally available but not overly invested, you keep her guessing. You give her just enough to make her want more, but not enough to feel like she has you figured out. The key is to keep her intrigued. The silent challenge is another technique you can use to increase sexual tension. This involves subtly challenging her beliefs, values, or opinions, not in a confrontational way, but in a playful, teasing manner. By doing so, you create a dynamic where she feels the need to prove herself to you, which makes her desire your approval even more. This subtle push-pull dynamic is what keeps the sexual tension alive and growing. It's important to remember that sexual tension is not about forcing attraction. It's about creating a situation where attraction is inevitable. It's about playing on the natural chemistry between you and her and allowing that chemistry to build over time. When you create sexual tension, you make her desire you more without even needing to try. As you build sexual tension, don't forget to maintain your calm, confident demeanor. The more you stay emotionally stable and in control, the more she will be drawn to you. Desire is created when she feels a sense of longing and anticipation, and your role is to cultivate that feeling without rushing or forcing the connection. Ultimately, sexual tension is about creating a space where she can feel the attraction building between you, but where there is still enough mystery and intrigue to mastering the art of teasing and playful challenge. One of the most powerful psychological tools in building attraction is the art of teasing. Teasing, when done correctly, is more than just playful banter. It's a subtle, seductive technique that keeps a woman on her toes, sparking her interest and desire without overwhelming her. Teasing creates chemistry and anticipation, making her want more. The key to teasing is to keep it light, playful, and most importantly, non-aggressive. You're not trying to insult her or make her feel bad about herself. Instead, you're creating a dynamic of playful challenge. This challenge intrigues her because it signals that you are not easily impressed or swayed by her. You have your own world, your own standards, and she has to earn her way into it. Flirting through teasing is about showing her that you can handle her in a fun and exciting way. When you tease her, you create a lighthearted atmosphere that makes her feel like she is in a safe and exciting space. This is incredibly seductive because it feels different from the usual predictable interactions she's used to. It's refreshing, playful, and most importantly, it keeps her guessing. The power of teasing comes from its ability to create tension and desire while maintaining an air of mystery. The more you challenge her, the more she will feel the need to prove herself to you. This push-pull dynamic keeps her emotionally engaged and invested in your interactions. It's not about playing games or trying to manipulate her. It's about creating a fun, dynamic interaction where she feels both challenged and intrigued. One of the best ways to tease her is through subtle compliments and playful insults. For example, instead of directly complimenting her on how beautiful she looks, you might say something like, "You look pretty good," for someone who clearly put zero effort into looking good today. The key is that you're being playful and not overly serious. This keeps the interaction light and fun, while also keeping her on her toes. Humor plays a big role in teasing. A well-timed, clever joke or playful comment can do wonders in creating attraction. But it's important to make sure that your teasing doesn't cross into mean-spiritedness. It should always be lighthearted and fun, designed to create an emotional connection rather than make her feel insecure or defensive. Another important aspect of teasing is knowing when to pull back. If you tease her too much or too aggressively, you risk making her feel uncomfortable or upset. The key to successful teasing is in knowing when to back off and give her the space to respond. This creates a sense of anticipation and keeps the dynamic fun and exciting. When done right, teasing creates a magnetic pull between you and her. It shows that you're not desperate for her attention and that you can handle her playful side without getting too emotionally invested. This dynamic makes her want to chase you because she is constantly engaged in a playful battle for your attention. Ultimately, the art of teasing is about building attraction through playful challenge and emotional engagement. It's about showing her that you can create a dynamic where both of you are having fun, but where she is also invested in winning your approval. The more you make her work for your attention, the more she will desire you. The power of mystery and the unspoken challenge. One of the most attractive qualities you can cultivate in any relationship, especially one where you are trying to build sexual attraction, is mystery. People are drawn to what they don't fully understand, what they can't quite figure out. In the realm of attraction, mystery is incredibly seductive. When you can remain enigmatic, when you don't lay all your cards on the table right away, you create an emotional and intellectual challenge that keeps her intrigued. To create mystery, you must learn to hold back a little, to leave things unsaid. It's not about playing games or manipulating. Rather, it's about showing just enough to pique her curiosity without revealing everything. Think about how much more intriguing someone becomes when they hold back just a little of their true self. When you withhold just enough information, it creates a sense of anticipation, and that anticipation leads to attraction. Non-disclosure is key in building mystery. It's the subtle art of not oversharing, of keeping a little bit of your personal life and your intentions under wraps. The more you hold back, the more you leave her wondering about you. And that wondering becomes desire. This element of uncertainty creates a constant emotional push-pull that makes her want to keep engaging with you, trying to figure you out. But mystery is not just about withholding information. It's also about creating an aura of exclusivity. If you share too much of yourself too quickly, you lose the elusive quality that makes you interesting. Women don't want someone who is predictable or easy to figure out. They want a man who is constantly keeping them on their toes, someone who is always a little bit unpredictable, someone who leaves them wanting more. The key to creating mystery is to have a strong sense of self and to be comfortable in your own space. When you are secure in who you are, when you don't feel the need to constantly prove yourself or seek validation, you naturally become more intriguing. You create a space of mystery simply by being authentic and allowing others to see just enough of you to pique their interest. You don't need to reveal everything. You simply need to show that you have a lot more depth than they initially realize. In practice, mystery is created through strategic silence and deliberate distance. The key is not to over-communicate or overshare, especially in the beginning stages of attraction. When you engage in conversation, leave a little room for her to wonder. Instead of telling her your entire life story or explaining everything about your past, allow her to discover those things over time. This creates a sense of progressive intimacy that deepens her attraction. The more unpredictable and elusive you are, the more she will feel that she must work harder to understand you. This creates an emotional tension that is both exciting and engaging. She will feel the need to engage more, to keep seeking your approval, Because you haven't revealed everything about yourself. This makes her feel like she's investing in something worth pursuing, something she doesn't fully have yet but wants to. Creating mystery also means never becoming too available. When you are constantly available, when you are always there for her, you lose the mystique. You become just another predictable presence in her life. To maintain that aura of mystery, you must maintain a sense of elusiveness. Be there when it matters, but never at her beck and call. When you make her wait, when you create a sense of scarcity, you make her want you more. This is what makes you desirable, because she knows that you are a man of value who is not easily available to everyone. Ultimately, creating mystery is about creating an emotional space where attraction can grow. By withholding just enough information, being unpredictable, and allowing her to discover you bit by bit, you build an emotional foundation of desire that becomes nearly impossible to resist. The more you keep her guessing, the more she will be drawn to you, and the stronger the attraction will become. Building emotional investment and deepening desire. In any attraction, whether it's emotional or sexual, investment plays a crucial role in its development. The deeper the emotional investment, the stronger the desire becomes. Women, especially, are more likely to become emotionally attached when they feel that the man they are interested in is not only physically attractive but also emotionally available. However, the key is to create a dynamic where she becomes invested in you, without you ever needing to push too hard or seem overly eager. Building emotional investment requires understanding that attraction isn't just about giving and receiving attention. It's about creating a deep emotional connection that leaves her feeling as though she has something to lose. When a woman feels emotionally invested in a man, she begins to care about his feelings, thoughts, and the relationship itself. One of the best ways to create this emotional investment is by being consistent in your behavior. Consistency signals trust and reliability, two qualities that are essential for building a solid emotional foundation. If you say you'll do something, follow through. If you tell her you're interested, show it through your actions, not just words. The more reliable and consistent you are, the more she'll feel secure in investing her time and energy into you. However, building emotional investment doesn't mean being overly available or always present. If you're constantly available, you risk coming off as needy or clingy. Emotional investment happens when you give just enough, when you show that you're interested, but not so eager that you become predictable. The push-pull dynamic we've talked about before is key here. She needs to feel like there's something to chase, that she has to earn your attention and win your affection. To create emotional investment, you need to show that you have value outside of her. This means not making her the center of your world or losing your identity in the relationship. Instead, you must maintain your own independence and show her that while you enjoy spending time with her, your life doesn't revolve around her. This creates mystery and adds an extra layer of attraction because she knows that she is not your only priority, but she still holds your attention. Another key to building emotional investment is through vulnerability. Many men think that being vulnerable is a sign of weakness, but the truth is, showing a little vulnerability can actually strengthen your bond with a woman. When you let her see the more human side of you, your flaws, your passions, and your dreams, she feels emotionally connected. Vulnerability, when used correctly, invites her to open up and share more of herself, deepening the emotional connection between the two of you. But vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or dumping all your emotions on her at once. It's about sharing little pieces of your true self, allowing her to see you as a complete person. By doing this, you create a deeper emotional connection that makes her more invested in you. Once you've created that emotional investment, the attraction becomes unstoppable. She will feel drawn to you not only because of the physical chemistry, but also because of the emotional bond you've created. The more she feels emotionally connected to you, the stronger her desire will be. This is the key to sustaining attraction, not just creating it, but keeping it alive and building on it. The time to take control of your attraction and build emotional investment is now. Stop chasing and start creating a dynamic where she's the one who's emotionally invested in you. Be consistent, maintain your independence, and don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Take the first step toward building a deeper connection that will make her desire you more than ever before. Subscribe to our channel for more tips and insights on how to attract and build meaningful relationships. Navigating the path of challenge and emotional reward. Once you've established a foundation of attraction and emotional investment, the next step is to learn how to navigate the path of challenge and reward. The push-pull dynamic we've discussed is at the core of maintaining and intensifying attraction. This dynamic is all about creating moments where she feels emotionally challenged, but also rewarded when she rises to the challenge and earns your approval. The challenge is key. Women are naturally attracted to men who challenge them, but it's not about creating conflict or being overly difficult. It's about keeping her on her toes, making her feel like she has to earn your respect, earn your time, and earn your emotional investment. This dynamic pushes her to become emotionally engaged because she knows she has to put in the effort to win your attention. The challenge doesn't have to be huge. It can be as simple as setting boundaries and sticking to them. If she pushes you for attention or affection, don't immediately give in. Hold back just enough to create a sense of longing and desire. If you give too much, too quickly, you risk diminishing the attraction. Instead, give just enough to show that you're interested, but not enough to make it easy for her to get everything she wants from you without any effort. The key to successfully navigating the challenge-reward dynamic is in the reward. When she has met your challenge and shown her investment, you reward her with your attention, affection, or validation. This shows her that her effort was worth it and reinforces her desire for you. When you reward her appropriately, you deepen her emotional connection to you and further fuel the attraction. But rewards must be earned. They cannot be given out freely. You can't just shower her with affection or attention every time she asks for it. Instead, you need to make her work for it. Make her earn your approval by showing that she is worthy of your time and energy. When she feels like she has to put in the effort, she will value the reward much more. This, in turn, increases her emotional attachment and her desire. The beauty of the challenge-reward dynamic is that it creates a cycle of emotional investment. When she is emotionally challenged, she becomes more invested in the process. As she earns your approval and affection, her emotional attachment to you deepens. This cycle continues, building stronger attraction and creating a relationship dynamic that is both exciting and sustainable. Another key aspect of this dynamic is to make sure that you're consistent in how you challenge her. If you're inconsistent, if you reward her for nothing or challenge her too much, you will create confusion and instability in the relationship. You need to be clear in your boundaries, clear in your actions, and consistent in how you reward and challenge her. Ultimately, the challenge-reward dynamic is about creating emotional growth in the relationship. As she meets the challenges you set, she will experience a sense of accomplishment and growth, both emotionally and personally. This sense of growth leads to a stronger connection between the two of you and keeps the attraction alive. By learning to navigate the challenge-reward dynamic effectively, you can maintain the spark of attraction, deepen the emotional connection, and ensure that your relationship remains exciting and dynamic. The final test: cementing the emotional bond. As we reach the final stage of attraction, it's time to solidify the emotional bond you've created. Everything you've done up until now, the teasing, the challenge, the mystery, and the emotional investment, has been leading up to this moment, the final test of your connection. This is where you cement the emotional bond and turn your attraction into a lasting, powerful relationship. The final test is about commitment, not just in the form of saying you're ready for a relationship, but in the actions you take to demonstrate that you're willing to invest in her and the connection you've built. This is where you show your true intentions, where you prove that your interest in her isn't just a fleeting desire, but something deeper and more meaningful. True commitment comes from the emotional safety you provide. Women, especially, need to feel secure in the relationship before they can fully open up and invest themselves emotionally. This means you must show her that you are not just playing games or looking for temporary validation. You need to show her that you are emotionally consistent, that you can be relied on, and that you are willing to invest in the long-term success of the relationship. Consistency and trustworthiness are the cornerstones of commitment. If you've been consistent throughout your interactions, this final stage will feel natural and seamless. You're not promising her the world. You're simply showing that you are ready to give her the kind of emotional support, stability, and attention she needs. Small gestures, a reassuring touch, a thoughtful message, or showing genuine concern for her well-being can go a long way in proving your commitment. The final test is also about vulnerability. Now that you've built a strong foundation of attraction, emotional investment, and trust, it's time to let her see the more authentic, vulnerable side of you. Being emotionally available doesn't mean being weak or submissive. It means showing that you are human, that you have flaws, and that you're not afraid to share your true self with her. Vulnerability fosters deeper intimacy and shows that you're willing to let her in and share your emotional world. However, vulnerability needs to be balanced with strength. You can be open and vulnerable without being overly needy or dependent on her for emotional validation. The key is to create a dynamic where you show that you are emotionally available and willing to invest, but still maintain your emotional independence. This balance of strength and vulnerability is what creates emotional chemistry that leads to a deeper, more fulfilling connection. The final test is also a moment for mutual growth. You've both invested time, energy, and emotion into this connection, and now it's time to grow together. The emotional bond you've created can serve as the foundation for a relationship that is built on trust, respect, and a shared commitment to each other's well-being. As you both invest more in each other, the connection will continue to grow and evolve, deepening the attraction and the emotional bond between you. At this stage, attraction becomes automatic. You've laid the groundwork for a relationship that is not only based on physical attraction, but on emotional connection and mutual respect. When you've proven your commitment, vulnerability, and consistency, you create a relationship that is built to last. She will be emotionally invested in you, and the desire will continue to grow stronger and stronger. This is the final step toward turning attraction into a lasting relationship. Commit to the process, show consistency, and be emotionally available. Be vulnerable, but still maintain your strength and independence. Invest in the emotional bond you've built, and watch as the connection becomes even deeper and more meaningful. Subscribe to our channel for more insights and tips on building lasting relationships that are based on true emotional connection.